Today, we are going to learn about the different sectors in the US S&P 500. It plays a central role in the US economy, maintaining a list of 500 companies by adding or removing them based on their market value and other criteria. It is made up of 11 sectors: information technology, financials, healthcare, consumer discretionary, communication services, industrials, consumer staples, energy, utilities, real estate, and materials. Now, let me introduce Happy, an investment expert. He works as an asset consultant and helps you grow your wealth.
Hello, I am Dr. Happy. The S&P 500 is a symbol of the US. These companies are excellent businesses that support the American economy. It is surprising that raw materials used to make up over 50% of the S&P 500, but now they are only 1.7%. It is surprising that the tech sector was less than 5% at the beginning, and IBM alone accounted for 2/3 of it. It is amazing that the information sector now makes up 40% of the total. Today, we'll take a look at each sector and how they have changed over time. First, let's look at the consumer staples sector. These are products that we need for our daily lives. Consumer staples are defensive, have low price sensitivity, and provide stable dividends. Examples include Coca-Cola, Apple, Walmart, and Costco. The consumer staples sector makes up about 6% of the S&P 500 index. On average, it earns between 8% and 10%. Consumer discretionary refers to products you buy when you have extra money, even though they aren't essential for daily life. Spending increases when the economy is good, and it tends to change a lot. Well-known companies in this sector include Starbucks, McDonald's, Disney, and Nike. Consumer discretionary companies make up about 10% of the S&P 500, and they have had an average return of 12% over the past 10 years. Next is the industrials sector. Most of these companies produce goods or provide services for other businesses and organizations. This sector makes up about 8 to 9% of the S&P 500. Major companies in this industry include Deere, Caterpillar, and GICS. This is a key sector that forms the foundation of the economy, and it has had an average return of about 13% over the past 10 years. Next is the information technology sector. It makes up the largest portion of the S&P 500. This sector is based on advanced technology, high profitability, and strong cash flow. Representative companies include NVIDIA, Intel, Google, and Microsoft. This sector makes up 40% of the S&P 500 and has had an average return of 25% over the last 10 years. It is not only the fastest growing field, but it is also at the very front of the global competition for technology leadership. The energy sector is the driving force of the economy and is known for paying high dividends. Major companies in this industry include ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Occidental. Recently, this sector has had a lower average return of about 7.7%.
Financial stocks are reliable investments that pay high dividends. They are also very sensitive to how the economy performs. Key companies in this sector include JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America. These companies help make the US a global leader in the financial market. 1. This sector makes up about 10% of the S&P 500. And it has had an average annual return of about 12% over the past decade. Next is the REIT sector. It offers high dividends and acts as a shield against inflation because it invests in real physical assets. Common REITs include infrastructure, healthcare, and logistics businesses. They are very sensitive to changes in interest rates. This sector makes up about 2% of the S&P 500. And it has had an average return of about 9% over the past 15 years. The utility sector is known for being defensive, meaning it is generally more stable even when the economy is struggling. These companies provide essential services, which leads to steady cash flow and attractive dividends for investors. Some well-known companies in the utility sector include American Electric Power, Dominion Energy, Duke Energy, and NextEra Energy. This sector makes up about 2 to 3% of the S&P 500 and has delivered an average annual return of 9.78% over the past few decades. Next is the healthcare sector. This sector is both defensive and has growth potential, though it is also subject to strict regulations. Key companies in this sector include Pfizer, Merck, Johnson & Johnson, and Zoetis. This sector makes up about 12% of the S&P 500 and has had an average annual return of 10% over the past few decades. Finally, we have the materials sector, which is the strongest hedge against inflation. Key companies in this sector include Dow DuPont, Monsanto, and International Paper. This sector makes up about 5% of the S&P 500 and has had an average annual return of about 7% over the past few decades.